There we go. All right, we're joined by Dennis Bickmeier, the president of Richmond Raceway. Thank you for taking time. I know this is a busy week for you. Every week is busy, but especially race weekend, super busy. I want to jump into the most obvious and pressing question that I think I have for you, which is when you look at the racing, this next gen car has produced every single week so far this year. How excited do you get to think, hey, it's our turn and we're going to put on a show too?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the racing action here this weekend. It's been fun to watch, man. I've really enjoyed the racing. I've enjoyed the unpredictability of it. So we'll see what that means here for Richmond. But we have a little history with the next gen car, though. We were the first track that they brought the car to shake it down with Austin Dillon, and had a couple test sessions, but nothing like what we're seeing right now, man, with the competition. So we'll get through this practice session and some qualifying and let them go on Sunday afternoon.
For sure. From a hospitality and fan engagement standpoint, if you're a fan or you're just a sports fan living in the greater Richmond area and you're on the fence about going to the racetrack this weekend, what is your sales pitch to them to come out and see NASCAR Friday through Sunday?
Well, one thing that we say is we've got something for everyone. And by that, we mean whether you're the, longtime hardcore race fan, they tend to want to just get in here and see on-track action. Well, now we got practice and qualifying back. They're going to get that, plus we got a triple header. If you're a casual fan, you want to know what else is there for me to see and do. Well, we have 3 stages this weekend, all programmed with music, driver appearances, driver Q&As, music, food, go down the list. So, those things are important from a fan experience standpoint to keep people entertained from the time they arrive to the time they leave. It provides more value, for the cost of the ticket. So that's really some of the things that we're out there pushing. We're bringing the kid zone back now. We haven't had a kid zone here in a few years. So all that, again, for parents to give the kids something to do. So it's really about, what we can do outside of the racing to keep people entertained. And we feel really good about all the programming that we have going this weekend to do that.
So obviously the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series, these are known commodities. I mean, people watch them on TV every week and they're the headline attraction. I'm a big NASCAR modified tour guy. And I know you guys brought them on last year. What did they add to the value of the ticket last year? And what is the value to bring them back this year?
Well, there are a couple of things with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour coming back. First of all, to kick things off on a Friday night. So, we're sold out of camping. So you'll see a lot of our campers that will make it over on Friday night to watch the mods run. So that's always fun to give them. And then, folks that are always looking for a little bit more racing, that gives it to us on Friday night with the mods. But here's the other thing is they're in Virginia 3 times this year. So Richmond, Langley, and Martinsville. I think that means a lot to modified fans here in Virginia. Obviously how popular the modified series is up north. There's a lot of racing in the south. We're kind of in the middle of all that now, and they're coming to Virginia 3 times. So hopefully we'll see a really large car count. That all signs point to that. But really a cool opportunity for the drivers in the series to race on a NASCAR, the National Touring Series track, to be part of a weekend with Xfinity and Cup, I think means a lot to the series as well.
I've always felt like, I've always personally enjoyed Richmond, and Richmond has earned the reputation as being the action track. And it's debatable whether or not it's a short track, but by definition, it's a short track. But one of the conversations that's come up a lot in recent years is, well, I like Richmond better when we had the sealer, or maybe it's time Richmond needs a repave. And I'm curious, I'm sure you've heard Dale Jr. He brings it up a lot. Have you guys
talk about it all the time?
Yeah. So have you guys internally had that conversation, and is it possibly on the radar?
Well, from a sealer standpoint, no, not that, we have talked about it. So we've talked about it with competition a lot. A lot has changed with the cars and the tires since the track was sealed. A lot of people seem to think that it was just like a couple years ago that the sealer was used. It was the early 2000s. It's been a long time, and a lot's changed with the cars and the tires since then. And it's hard to really tell how everything would all work out if you did put the sealer on there. It could be an ice skating rink for all we know. I mean, we just don't know. I'm sure there's probably some really good scientists and engineers that might be able to get us close, but we haven't gone down that road other than having those conversations about, a lot's changed since then. So I think the other thing too, what you mentioned about the track, it has been a long time since it's been repaved. We've had one of our toughest winters in about 4 or 5 winters here too. So we're just waking the facility up from winter. I'm anxious to see, what the drivers think of the surface of the racetrack, having come out of a really tough winter. So we'll see, what we hear once they go out for practice and things. So again, and then with the new car, you just don't know until we can get a race under our belt with the new car and see how things play out.
Yeah, a lot of variables for sure. We've learned officially this week that you're taking a new role with the county after this race. And I imagine I know the answer to this because it's so integral to what you've been doing. But I assume we're going to see a lot of you at Richmond Raceway moving forward still.
Definitely. This new role with Henrico County, the good news is, excuse me, I'm sorry. The good news is that the racetrack is in Henrico County. So, and we've enjoyed such a great working relationship with the county. We can't do this without them and, the public safety officials that help us execute these race weekends. So I'm looking forward to, from a different seat, being as helpful as I can to the racetrack going forward. And, this racetrack has a piece of my heart, piece of my soul, man. I've poured a lot in to this venue with an amazing team of people over the last 11 years. And, I'm here in a different role to see it succeed and to help whoever comes in next to transition. So yes, short answer is you will continue to see a lot of me. And again, and to keep that collaboration going between racetrack and the locality where it resides.
2020 took a lot of things from us, but I think one of the things that I'm most bummed out that we couldn't experience because of that was the IndyCar race that you guys had put a lot of energy and effort behind, a lot of promotion, having drivers come down. And for a variety of reasons, we as an industry haven't been able to revisit that. But I'm curious, even with this new role, do you still see interest or enthusiasm from either what's about to be your new partners at NASCAR or from the community in Henrico County for IndyCar at Richmond? Is that a conversation that could be reignited somewhere down the road?
It could be, definitely. I think, and Jay Fry and I have talked, over the years, not about my new role, but certainly, the prospects of IndyCar, down the road. And I know Roger Penske has some interest as well. So I think, it was unfortunate that, COVID wiped us out and we haven't been able to revisit those conversations as of yet. So I think right now the focus has been on the NASCAR races and making sure we're building those back. This April weekend is a great example of that. Again, given what we've gone through the last 2 years, just with this April weekend alone, not being able to do a limited capacity event, we feel a little bit like we're reinventing a new race this April weekend, given what we've had to go through the last 2 years. I say all that to I think it's going to take some time to kind of regroup, with our NASCAR races before we start entertaining, other series. Again, now put my other hat on. Yeah, certainly. If there's something that we can do to be supportive of other racing series coming in here to race, obviously it's got to fit for what NASCAR wants to do with the facility as well. But, you never say never. I think you got to keep an open mind on conversations, especially when, you got a facility like this and everything that we've done with the upgrades that we made to the infield and everything. So I guess the best thing I could say right now is stay tuned and see where conversations go.
Absolutely. And the last one I got for you is looking back at your NASCAR tenure in totality. What has been the most rewarding part of Michigan, Fontana, Richmond? You throw it into a blender and you look back at all of it. What was the best part about being at NASCAR?
Well, the thing I worked in other sports before I got into motorsports, and I wasn't a motorsports person. My first race was the first race ever out of what is now Auto Club Speedway. So I didn't come from a motorsports background, but I fell in love with it. I mean, I remember going to that June 1997 race, and Jeff Gordon won, and he became my driver. And I remember everything about that weekend and how everything just attacked all my senses. And those are stories that I've heard now over a 21-year career talking to fans, that a lot of them had that same experience. Someone brought them to the racetrack and boom, they were hooked. So that's kind of my first thing that comes to mind. But over the balance of the course of 21 years, the thing that will stand out to me is just the relationships I've made with the fans. And some of them will be and are lifelong friends. And I just enjoy the interactions that I have with the fans, whether it's going through camping areas, delivering, baked goods, donuts, it doesn't matter. Just those interactions with the fans will always have deep, deep meaning for me.
The old expression in racing is if you can take a non-fan and just get them to the racetrack and you get them to smell it, to see it, to feel it, hear it, they're going to come back every single time. So hopefully here this weekend, you get 100 couple of new fans, make them fans for life. Dennis Bickmeier, good luck this weekend. Good talking to you, and we appreciate the time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.